I was only trying to get home that evening. The road was quiet, the sky was turning darker, and nothing felt unusual until I saw her. A small dog lying near the sidewalk, barely moving. At first I thought she was resting. But when she tried to stand, I saw it clearly. One of her back legs was crippled. She struggled to walk, dragging herself forward with painful effort. I slowed down. Something in the way she looked at me made it impossible to drive away. What I didn't know then was that she wasn't just fighting for her own life. She was carrying two more. That evening could have passed like any other ordinary day. But sometimes, life places responsibility quietly in front of us. We don't plan for it. We simply encounter it. When I stepped out of the car and approached her, she didn't bark. She didn't run. She just watched me carefully, exhausted but hopeful. I knelt down slowly and extended my hand. Her body trembled slightly, but she allowed me to stroke her head. Her fur was rough. Her breathing uneven. And when she attempted to move, I could see how badly she struggled. Her back leg was injured, perhaps broken long ago, perhaps never treated. Every step looked painful. I took some food I had in the car and placed it near her. She hesitated for only a moment before eating quickly, as if she hadn't seen food in days. Then I gave her water. She drank deeply. Watching her eat, I felt a quiet anger. How does a dog end up alone like this, injured, weak, forgotten? After she finished eating, I stood up and walked slowly toward my car, thinking about what to do next. And then something unexpected happened. She followed me. Despite her injured leg, despite the pain, she dragged herself forward step by step. It was as if she understood that this was her chance. That if she let me leave, she might not survive another night. That was the moment I knew. I gently guided her closer to the car. With patience and calm movements, I lifted her carefully and placed her into a crate in the back seat. She did not resist. She simply lay down, watching me with tired eyes. On the way to the veterinary clinic, I kept glancing at her in the rearview mirror. I could see how weak she was. But I also saw something else: trust. At the clinic, the doctors immediately began their examination. They cleaned her wounds, checked her injured leg, and started IV fluids to rebuild her strength. Vitamins were administered to stabilize her condition. Then the ultrasound was performed. That was when we discovered the truth. She was pregnant. Not just slightly, she was carrying two puppies inside her. For a moment, I stood there in silence. This injured, starving dog had been carrying life within her, struggling alone on the street. The veterinarian looked at me seriously. "Her condition is weak," he said. "She cannot deliver naturally. It would be too dangerous. The only safe option was an early surgical delivery." I agreed immediately. There was no hesitation in my mind. If she had fought this hard to survive, then we would fight for her too. The surgery began quickly. I waited outside, thinking about how close she had come to dying unnoticed. If I had been 5 minutes later, if she had collapsed somewhere hidden, no one would have known. After what felt like a long time, the doctor finally came out. The surgery was successful. 2 small puppies had been delivered safely. Both alive. Both healthy. Relief washed over me in a way I cannot fully describe. When I was allowed to see them, the mother dog was still weak but stable. The puppies were small, fragile, but breathing strongly. I helped feed them milk carefully, drop by drop. I also prepared soft porridge and milk for the mother so she could regain her strength and eventually nurse them herself. The doctor carefully stitched her incision and gave detailed instructions for post-surgery care. Recovery would take time. She needed warmth, nutrition, and calm. I made the decision that night. I would take all 3 of them home. Back at my house, I prepared a quiet space for them: clean bedding, warmth, soft light. I stayed close during the first nights, checking on her breathing, making sure the puppies were warm. The first few days were fragile. She was weak, moving slowly, protecting her puppies carefully. But she was no longer alone. I fed her warm porridge, added small biscuits for extra energy, and made sure she drank enough water. Gradually, strength returned. After a few days, she was able to nurse her puppies on her own. Watching that moment, seeing her lie down gently as the two tiny lives fed from her, felt deeply meaningful. Life continuing despite hardship. Her injured leg still required treatment and rest, but compared to where she had started, the progress was remarkable. The puppies grew quickly. Their tiny cries filled the room. Their eyes eventually opened. They began crawling clumsily toward their mother. The house felt different. Warmer. Alive. I often reflect on that evening when I first saw her lying near the sidewalk. If I had ignored her, she likely would not have survived the pregnancy. The puppies would never have had a chance to breathe. Rescue is not about grand gestures. It is about small decisions made at the right moment. Stopping the car. Walking closer. Offering water. Choosing not to look away. Today, she walks slowly but peacefully in my yard. Her leg may never be perfect, but she no longer drags herself in desperation. Her eyes are calm. The fear is gone. The two puppies run around her, playful and full of energy. Sometimes they climb over her back. Sometimes they fall asleep pressed against her side. And I live happily with them. Not because I did something extraordinary, but because I responded when life quietly asked me to. She once lay on a sidewalk, crippled and alone, carrying two unborn lives inside her fragile body. Now she rests safely in a home filled with warmth. Sometimes the difference between tragedy and hope is only a single person willing to stop. That evening, I stopped. And 3 lives were saved.